Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today is hashtag #tagmetuesday, but first let's have our shout out to Colleen, Danny, Faith Art Design Studio, Brenda, Renee, and Kelly. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today's hashtag #tagmetuesday, we're going to bake a double-sided side tuck tag from our 6x6 paper pad. We're going to make some more ephemera from our paper pad. I love how this one has turned out. Now, you can put this on a flip in a junk journal, or you could pop it into a pocket or maybe a belly band. But you put your pieces of ephemera in a side tuck, and it will actually hold quite a few. There's 3 here, and I think I could actually get more in here if I wanted to. So guess I can't have to put them back in one at a time. So slipping that one in here, and then I'm going to slip this little B one in next, just like this, and then I'm going to slip this one in. And then there's this side. Oh my goodness, I love it. We even have a little bit of stitching going on right here. Let's get started. Alrighty, so we're using that same paper pad, and that's this one right here. Now, I purchased it recently, and so I know it's available. The Paper Studio Cardstock Vintage Floral 6x6, and it's really quite beautiful. I love it. I purchased mine from Hobby Lobby, and what I did first was I took one of the pages. So let's take a page out, and then what I did was I got my coffee slurry. So some people say, what's your coffee slurry? Well, I like to use instant coffee, and I just dissolve it with some water. I like to use a couple of different brands of the coffee crystals because they're different colors. When you go to the store, look at all the instant coffee and look at all the different colors that they come in. So I usually use 2 or 3, and I don't have any recipe that I use. I just mix it together, and when I use it, if it's too dark, I add more water, and if it's too light, I add some more coffee crystals. So that's how I make mine. Very simple and easy, and that's how I decide if I like it or not. I just try it out and see. So after you paint, and I use this sponge brush. I love using the sponge brush on the paper. After you get the the coffee slurry painted on, simply set it aside or dry it with a hair dryer if you have one. And then when it's dry, oh, it's squeaking. Sorry about that. When it's dry, goodness gracious, when it's all dry, then we'll be able to continue, or you'll be able to make your piece. Now, I have quite a few here that I have coffee dyed, right here, just quite a few. And I'm going to select 2 that go well together. They don't match perfectly, but they go well together. Now this one right here, I used kind of a creamy kind of color, and then what is that color? Kind of a dusty rosy pink, purpley pink color. I loved how that went together. And I'm thinking that this shade of green might look really pretty with this floral. So it's very easy, you guys. This is simple to make. So what we want to do is we want to place it down. I'm placing it on my grid, and I'm placing it upside down. And I'm simply going to fold this over 2 inches. So just like that, giving it a little crease. I'm going to bring my bone folder over, and I'm going to crease it well. There's one. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to line it up on a grid line, and I'm going to fold it over 2 inches, just like that. Give it a nice crease. Now you're going to take your pieces and you're going to place them inside each other just like that. That's all there is to it, you guys. One's this way and one's this way, and you're simply going to slip the back underneath there and the front underneath here, and it's just like that. Couldn't be any easier than that now, could it, guys? Nope, it couldn't. But before we get this all glued together, how do we get the little stitching on it? Because I really think that adds a lot of personality to this double-sided side tuck tag. So I'm going to take it out, back out like this, and the side that you folded over 2 inches, that's the side that's going to be closest to you. And I'm looking for my pencil. Here's my pencil right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my grid. I'm going to line it up, and I'm actually going to mark my little, I guess they're 1/4 of inches, and I'm going to try to keep it in a row. I think that's the hardest thing, to try to keep it, you know, level all the way across. So just making a little mark, just like this, all the way across. That one's a little different. Okay, just like that. Can you see my little marks there? Now I have a small hole punch. Very small. There you go. You can see that. And I'm going to punch my first one. I'm going to skip my second one, and I'm going to punch my third. I'm going to skip, and I'm going to punch. I'm going to skip, and I'm going to punch. Skipping every other and punching right on the dot that you made. Just like this. Oh, get my last one done. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now let's turn it over to this side. And it looks just like that. Now I do like to ink my things, so I am going to ink the outside here. Now you don't have to ink the inside. We're not going to see the inside. So I'm just going to run my little sponge right over the outside edges very quickly here. All right, that's all finished. Now, I have a little bit of embroidery thread right here, and it goes pretty well with my color here. I have a small needle, but yet it's not so small that I'm going to struggle getting my thread in. And I'm simply going to thread my needle just like this, and that just went on the floor, my little my little palette thing. Let me grab it. I don't need it on the floor. Okay, starting with I'm going to go up through the first hole, and then I'm just going to sew it, just going in and out. Can't be any easier than that. I mean, that's pretty simple. I don't have to struggle trying to get my needle to go through the paper. Oh, wait, guys. Wait, that is not what we need to do next. Okay, putting the horse before the cart there, guys. Forget what I just said about that. We need to put our savers on it, our hole savers. Goodness gracious. Okay, so these are hole savers, and you can buy them, I think you can even buy them at the grocery store. And I'm using the same sponge that has my frayed burlap that I used to ink around. I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to color my hole savers just by making circular little motions on top and just getting them all colored up just like this. Okay, and then I'm going to take my art glitter glue. You use the glue of your choice, and I'm going to do about 3 of them like that. And then I'm going to take my hole saver and I'm going to remove it and pop it right on. Now the hole is smaller than the hole of my saver right here. The hole that I punched in my card is smaller than this hole, but that's just how I did it. So I'm going to continue and I'm going to add my glue. I don't trust the glue on these things. If you do, then great. You don't have to do this step, but I just don't. So that is why I'm adding glue and gluing them on well. So even if they overlap a little bit, that's okay. It's just the look it gives. I just think it looks really super cool on there. I like the color. I like everything about it. So it's part of the design. I think that's what we can surely say, that it's part of the design. Oh, I went over too far. Glad I could pick that one back up. And then placing this one on. All of a sudden I became fumbled fingered. Don't know why. I have 3 more to go. So 1, 2, 3. There we are. And let's get those on there. And then we can start sewing. I was rushing just a little bit too much. Okay, getting that on there. Now, you're going to need to do the exact same thing to this one. I'll do this one off camera. You won't have to see me doing that again. But we are going to need to thread our needle. So getting our needle threaded. And then starting with the bottom, because that's where you're going to glue the inside. So starting like this and just going in and out. I'm not left-handed, but I'm going to do it left-handed. I think it might be easier for me to hold it this way. In and out. And just a couple more holes to go. Well, let's see here. It was easier. And I was starting getting tangled. Oh, and then we went the wrong way. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's go back to the right hand, huh? Let's do that. Alrighty. This is why I don't do much hand stitching. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is, do you remember the sewing kits we had as kids? And they had holes in the cards just like this. Okay, well anyway. Oh, now I'm thinking about it and it's making me laugh. All right, so pulling this through, try not to pull it so far that you pull it out. And I'm just applying some glue here. And then I'm going to lay my embroidery thread on top. And I'm going to put some glue on top of the embroidery thread, like that. And then I'm going to pull it gently to make sure it's, you know, not gapping anywhere. And then I'm going to add some more glue right here. There we go. And simply take my scissors and I'm going to trim it. I wiped it off a little bit so I didn't have too much glue on there. And then trim it. So it's glued on either end. And then it looks just like that. That's pretty cute, right guys? Pretty cute. Now I'm going to do this one off camera. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how we're going to get that tag look. So that's the next step. All right, so I have completed my other card. Somebody might be asking, why did I put a hole, mark my dot here and not punch? I found it easiest to help me keep my line straight and not veer off or have a bulge in it. I need to keep it straight by putting a dot at every mark using my grid to help me keep this straight. So that's why I put the mark there and didn't punch. I needed to be able to keep it straight. So once again, we're going to put this together. It looks like I need to trim this off a little closer. I can see my thread here, so let me give this a little trim. Okay, nice. Now, remember, you're going to have one up and one the back way like this and one the front way like that. And you're going to put them right together just like this. So they'll put together just like that. Now, this is where well, actually I cut it first and then I glued it. I was trying to think of how I did it earlier. So we're going to make this into a tag shape. Determine what you want for your top and what you want for your bottom. I want this for my top. So that will be the top there. This is the top. Okay. And then I think it's best if you go, this is still my top, I'm just turning it upside down. On the side that's folded over, the smaller side, gauge about how much you want your tag to be. I want it to be about like that. You take this extra little piece and use it as your guide to take the corner off of this one. So it's going to be close. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be close. Okay, just like that. So now you've got your tag shape. The next thing that I did was I inked it, because that's, you know, I've been inking my project, so I inked it. And I took it at this point and I sewed mine. I love to sew paper. I sewed mine all the way around. You don't have to sew. So let's just say you don't have a sewing machine, and let's just do this without sewing. I'm going to lift it back like this. I'm going to apply my glue here and here, here and here. Okay? And then I'm also going to apply it right down here as well. All the way down and right here. Now I'm going to close it. I'm going to get it back to where it was. I've got glue on my mat. I'm going to press it down. Okay, now we're going to open up this side and we're going to glue this. So I've got to get inside here a little bit. So if you have a sewing machine and you like to sew, it is easier if you have a sewing machine, but we can still do it if we don't have a sewing machine. And then just glue that back. So now your tag is only open at your side tucks. That's the only place it's going to be open, is the side tucks. Okay? Alrighty. It's looking cute. Super, super cute. Now, let's do a little bit of decorating. I have some lace here. Now, this is that lace that everyone seems to have. It's the lace that you can purchase from the Dollar Tree. And actually, I went there, I don't know, maybe a week ago, and they didn't have any. So I'm going to add my glue, and I am using my hot glue gun. It's quick, it's easy, and it's really great for me making videos, because once I put it down, it is permanent and I don't have to worry about it moving around or being super sticky. So I'm trimming, just put it down. I glued it down there at the bottom. Now what I want to do is I want to glue some right here on the sides. So I'm going to add my glue to my side, and I'm just simply going to lay this on top, just like that, and I'm going to trim it straight up and straight across do the exact same thing on the other corner, and then lay this down just like this. Press it down. So I did choose to decorate this side as what I'm deeming at this point in time the front. And that's just because I think it's a little prettier right here. It has a little bit more color. So that's why I chose to put my lace on the front. Now this one is what I deem the front of this one. But when you turn it over, you would never know, because this is just as gorgeous on the back side. The back side, which really isn't the back side anymore. But it just, I don't know, it just kind of helped me decide where to put the lace, because it will be decorated just a little bit different from one side to the other because of where this flap occurs. So let's go ahead and trim this one out like this. Okay. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to bring in some sari silk. Now, this sari silk is so beautiful. It's from Crimson Heart Studios, and I will link her shop down below. And I'm just looking to see how wide it is. I think it's not too awful wide. I think I'm going to keep it this width, and I'm just going to do a loop and a loop and another loop and another loop. I'm thinking I just want 2 loops. Trim it just like that. There's a little some thread. I'm just taking that thread off, and I'm going to grab my thread right here on a spool, and I'm going to get myself a piece, and I'm going to tie this sari silk bow. I'm going to tie it to keep it secure. I'm not going to put a knot in it. I want to keep it as flat as possible. If I put a knot in it, then it's going to be kind of bulky, and it's not going to be as flat as I would like it. Sorry guys, I used my teeth there. Actually, it was my lips to get that pulled through. Needed an extra hand. Now I'm actually going to go around again a couple times, and then I'm going to tie it one more time with a knot. I'm just making sure that it's not going to get pulled out. I'm going to leave my little thread strings. I'm going to leave those hanging down. And this little piece is on the top. I want it to be on the bottom, so I'm simply going to glue it on the bottom. I'm going to say, I need you on the bottom, so I'm going to glue you right on the bottom. So that's my back. This is my front. I'm going to go right in the center about. I'm going to lay a little bit more glue right here, and I'm going to simply glue my bow on. All right, I've got my bow glued on. I'm going to bring my dish in now, and I've got a button right here, and I've already tied my embroidery thread, which is the same color as we used right here in our stitching, and I'm going to glue it right in the middle of my bow. So gluing it down right in the middle, just like that. Then I'm going to cut the edges, or the ends of my embroidery thread. I'm going to trim them. I'm going to trim my thread, but I'm going to leave it because I think it really looks pretty. I like the little pieces of thread, the 2 pieces coming down. You could even put a charm on there if you wanted. That's an idea. I'm going to take my little piece of sari, and on the part right here that's wider, I'm going to just, I'm just going to trim this off, and I'm going to lay a little bit of glue right down here like this. I'm going to lay this over the top, and I'm simply going to pinch. I'm doing that pinching thing to give us some little pleats there. I'm going to trim this off right here. I don't want it covering my pocket, my side pocket. I'm going to trim off the edge right here like that. Whoa, and I just threw my scissors. Oh my goodness. Now, I've got some bling, and I've got a few labels. I think I'd like to put my label over here on this side. So I'm going to add my glue. Now, these labels, I'm not sure if it's by J. Lee Lou or if it's Tracy Fox. I don't know where these labels came from, but I'm just going to pop them right there. And then I'm going to get probably about 3 of these. And I think I want to pop it right over here, kind of on top of my sari, above my sari, not on top, above my sari. Just like that. Now, I would do the exact same thing to the other side as I did to this side, so that you would have your double-sided side tuck tag. I love them. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Did I tell you about Tag Me Tuesday? I think I forgot. It's a Facebook group I have. The link is down below. You're going to need to accept the rules of the group, just to be kind to everyone, and there's no selling on that site. Doesn't mean you can't sell, just not on that site. There is another word. You don't have to have it. The answer is hashtag Cathy Sewing Happiness. Pop on over there, join the group, show us your version of a hashtag Tag Me Tuesday project. There is a playlist that you can choose lots, or you can do the one we're doing this week. I do ask that you don't just show us what you're working on this week, but you show us one of the Tag Me Tuesday projects, because your personality comes out in your projects. And I love to see your version of my Tag Me Tuesday project. I hope to see you there, guys. If you've loved this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.